Alright, so finally got all three batteries hooked up. Discharged them the other day. The cooler went literally like 27 hours from the full batteries, so it'll go a full day, assuming these get charged up fully by the solar panel. I'm not expecting them to get charged up fully by the solar panel because I'm going to have another charge controller that is going to be charging the batteries with the car cigarette lighter. So whatever power flows through that, which is actually higher than the amperage. If you look at the amperage of the PV cells, it's 3.1 amps, and the car will probably put through, I think it's fused at like 10 amps, so it'll probably do 10 amps, which is a huge amount while I'm doing the delivery work in the evening. I mean, I may, I haven't really calculated it yet, but I may only need that to charge up these three batteries, just 6 hours or so of driving, given you do turn off the car from time to time. Sometimes I'll leave the car running when I stop, usually to make a delivery or something like that, depending on the neighborhood. But yeah, typically I'll just leave the car on. So part of it's going to be charged by the car when I'm driving, and then the other part's going to come from the solar panels all through the day. I have the rooftop tent that'll allow me to angle the solar panels like kind of into the sun, and I can turn and back the car towards the sun for the morning hours to get, because that's usually you don't get it full sun until afternoon, but if you can tilt the panels up, you can get more power earlier. It's only one panel actually, so I was thinking about putting two, but I can't fit it. So anyway, I have something cool that I finally got to wiring up. So basically, what this is that I'll have the load on 24/7, so that it's giving power to my DC items inside the tent. And most of the items inside the tent are going to be plugged in to, a regular cigarette lighter port. And I'll have probably a triple. I may not need it, but so I wired this up to, on the one end, we've got this is a Y harness. There was just two ports from one plug. So on one end, you've got the thermostat, be like a DC thermostat. And this only it normally would go straight through to the cooler and just be on. And the cooler has no thermostat. It basically is 40 degrees less than the ambient temperature like around it. So what this is going to let me do is I've got a little probe here that goes inside that's measuring the temperature inside there. So at a certain heat temperature inside there, let's say 50 degrees. I haven't set it for that. I'm setting it for the ambient air outside because I'm also going to use this as an air conditioner. So right now this is set at 23 Celsius, which is about 73 or 74 degrees Fahrenheit. So when the temperature inside the tent gets to be, let's say 73 or 74, it'll kick on. Right now it's on. And once it drops down, you guys can't really see the numbers very well because they're old school. But anyway, that's 23. It's at 23 right now, so this is the current temperature, and it's got to drop down to 20 in order to turn off. So if the air around the tent, so to speak, because I'm going to have this kicked up. Not so sure if this is going to work yet, but that'll be kicked up, and all the cool air is going to be blown out with like a fan. And once the temperature in the tent gets to be down low enough, it'll turn off. And so it's not going to power all night. So in other words, if it gets cooler at night, down into the 60s, mid 60s, it'll kick off at like 68 degrees or so. I don't know what to set it for sure, but it'll kick off. That's 68 degrees in Fahrenheit. So it'll kick off, and then in the morning, if it heats up past the 73 or 74 to this temperature, it'll kick back on. So it's like a little mini DC thermostat. Pretty cool. I'm looking forward to using it. It actually works. It's pretty neat, and you can like set it with these buttons and stuff. I'm gonna put it inside of a box. In fact, all these electronics, the blocks, so to speak, the charge blocks, that would otherwise be an AC charge block, or connector, or power surge protector, or whatever. All this stuff is basically gonna go inside a box, and just the cords are gonna come out of the box. And so even the thermostat, I can put that in the box, and then I can just run the cord out into the tent or into the cooler. Probably gonna make it so I can disconnect this and just I might have two of these actually, one for in the car, and I might even have two of those depending on how much power this thing actually charges up during the day, and how well I could do it, how well it'll run both, considering I'm gonna get it charged up while I'm doing my delivery work during the day. Yeah, so pretty optimistic. The one unknown right now is with the new charge controller, how much charge how much is it going to be able to charge up these batteries in a day? That's the big deal. It turns out I don't need all three, probably, for that to run all day if they were completely charged. That's way longer than I need for that to run by itself. So it's a balance of how much can this charge. If this can only charge basically 2 batteries, then it doesn't matter if I have a third. I essentially don't need a third because they'll never charge up fully. What I need more is this, where it'll balance the power and not have it run when it doesn't need to run, especially the cooler, the thing that's drawing the most power, the most wattage per day. So assuming I have this on whenever that is plugged in, and it's either set for refrigerator temperatures for this, if I use it as a refrigerator inside the car, or if it's set for ambient temperature in the tent, either way, if that's connected, that's better, and we're saving power. We're not using all the power from the batteries every day, and it should balance itself out, and should have more than enough power, I'm guessing. And in that regard, seeing as the car might actually charge more than the solar panels, then it might be a good thing to just still have the three batteries. And yeah, so good stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching and being interested in this. Hopefully this will help you or others do something similar. This is a pretty awesome charge controller. Did a lot of reviews on it. It's an EPEVER tracer, and this is the 3210 30 amp. I didn't need it, but it was a really good price for a 30 amp, for a good 30 amp charge controller. It was like $98 on Amazon. Yeah, so anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.